Let me ask you something. When's the last time something that could grow your business was completely free? Not discounted, not on sale, free. I don't mean free with conditions. I don't mean free if you upgrade. I mean $0. Nothing. No credit card required, no application, no gatekeeping. That's the world we're operating in right now. And most operators, most entrepreneurs, most business owners are completely sleeping on it. Today, I want to talk about the most expensive mistake in business that costs you absolutely nothing to fix. Before we get into it, if you're building a business, running operations, or trying to grow without burning everything down in the process, subscribe now. This show is not theory. It is not hype. It's operator thinking, how businesses actually work when the cameras are off. Welcome to Notebook of a COO. Today's episode is about something that sounds almost too simple to be real, because the opportunity I'm about to describe has never existed in the history of business. Not 50 years ago, not 20 years ago, not even 10 years ago, at least not at this scale. And yet, most of the people who need it most aren't using it, or they're using it badly, or they tried it once, got 25 views, felt embarrassed, and quit. So today, we're going to talk about attention, where it lives, why it matters, and what's really stopping you from going after it. Here's some context. 30 years ago, if you wanted people to know your business existed, you paid. You paid a newspaper for an ad. You paid a cable company to run a commercial. You paid for a billboard. You paid a direct mail company to stuff a flyer into someone's mailbox just to get a 5-second glance. You paid every single time for every single eyeball. And then something shifted. The attention of the world moved, and it moved into a device that every person on the planet carries in their pocket. And on that device, the platforms that dominate it, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, they let you show up for free. Free. Not free to advertise. I'm not talking about paid media. I mean, it costs you nothing to post, nothing to build, nothing to be seen. Think about Google for a second. Every time someone clicks your ad, you pay. Whether they buy or not, whether they even scroll past the fold or not, you're paying per click, and not everybody converts. Social media flipped that model completely, and the craziest part, most business owners are still not posting enough. Drop a comment if you've thought about posting more content but kept putting it off. I want to know how many of you are in that exact spot right now, because that is the tension. That is the gap I want to close today. Let's break this down into 3 things operators need to understand about attention in 2026. 1. Attention is the asset, not the product. A lot of people think social media is about selling. It's not. Attention is the asset. Sales are the outcome. And here's what I mean by that. Everything you want as a business owner, more clients, more sales, more authority, more word of mouth, runs through one variable. Do people know you exist? That's it. That's the whole game. You want to sell a course? Attention. You want to build a client list? Attention. You want to be the go-to expert in your industry? Attention. You want investors to take you seriously? Attention. Every single business outcome you're chasing lives downstream of one thing, whether or not people have seen you enough times to trust you. And we are sitting in a moment where building that trust, building that visibility costs you $0. That's not a marketing tip. That's a structural advantage that has never existed at this scale before in history. So the question isn't, should I post on social? The question is, why am I not treating this like the asset it actually is? 2. The science of the art. Why most content doesn't work. Now here's where most operators get it wrong. They post, but they post randomly. They post because a trend came up. They post because they had something to say. They post because their marketing person said to, and they give zero thought to the science behind it. Let me put it this way. Attention is free to go after, but your ability to capture it is a skill, a craft. Think about this. Mr. B spends 6 figures testing thumbnails before a single YouTube video goes live. Now, he's operating at a scale most of us aren't, but understand what that tells you about the commitment level required to actually win at this. It's not about posting more for the sake of posting more. It's about understanding that there's a right way and a wrong way to build brand on these platforms. The science of the art looks like this. First, Who are you talking to? Not everyone, not business owners. Be specific. The more specific your audience, the more they feel like you're speaking directly to them. Second, what's the hook? You have about 2 seconds to stop a scroll. 2 seconds. If your first line doesn't create curiosity, tension, or emotion, you lost them. Third, what's the format that fits you? Not every operator needs to be on camera. Some people are built for the written word, some for short video, some for long-form audio. The format that works is the one you can actually be consistent with, and the one where you don't hate yourself while doing it. And fourth, are you studying what's working? Not copying it, studying it. Because there's a reason certain content performs and certain content doesn't, and you need to be a student of that if you want to actually grow. This is operator thinking applied to content. It's not random, it's systematic. 3. The real reason you're not doing it. This is the part I really want to sit with, because most of the people listening to this already know they should be posting more. You didn't need me to tell you that. You probably already knew social media was important before you pressed play. So if you know it, why aren't you doing it? Here's the real answer for most people. You're scared of what someone will say in the comments. You're scared of posting something and having it flop. You're scared of looking dumb, sounding inexperienced, not being polished enough. And here's what I want you to think about. If someone takes time out of their day, their real, limited, finite day, to find your content on the internet and leave a nasty comment, that person is in pain. That's not a confident person. That's not someone you should be taking direction from. Don't let your business growth be determined by the emotional state of a stranger on the internet. And here's the other side of that. Your first post is not going to be your best post. Nobody's is. The people you admire who have great content, they got there by doing it badly first, a lot, and then getting better. You don't get to skip that part. Drop a comment and tell me, what's been your biggest hesitation when it comes to showing up consistently on social? I read every one. Here's the thing about platforms. They shift. Yellow Pages became Google. Google is being disrupted by AI. MySpace became Facebook. Vine became TikTok. This will keep happening. The operators who win aren't the ones who are loyal to a platform. They're the ones who follow the attention. Wherever people are looking, that's where you need to show up. And right now, right this second, the attention of the world is sitting on 8 or 9 free platforms. Free. The cost of entry is time, consistency, and the willingness to not look perfect while you're getting better. That's the whole ask. And the operators who say, I'll get to it later, they're telling themselves the same thing that every person said right before a platform shift left them behind. I'm not saying be on every platform tomorrow. I'm not saying throw your whole strategy out. I'm saying change your no to a maybe. Download one app you've been avoiding. Post something imperfect this week. Study what's working and build the rep. Because the businesses that win the next 5 years won't be the ones with the biggest budgets. They'll be the ones who showed up, consistently, strategically, and without waiting until they felt ready. If this episode landed for you, here's your one move. Pick one platform, just one, and commit to posting on it 5 times this week. Not perfect content, not produced content, real content. You talking about what you know, what you've seen, and what you believe. That's where it starts. This is operator thinking, and if you want more of it, subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Wherever you are, that is exactly where you are supposed to be. But that does not mean you have to stay there. Until next time.